I'm going to go turn it over. Welcome, everybody, again to the recording. It is Team Time, Monday the 10th today, and we just got done with Darren Hardy, and it was an hour and 20 minutes today, and that's not normally. Normally it's supposed to be 45 minutes to an hour, but we got some of his backstory. It was really, really good. Loved it. It is on twice in the week. It's on Saturday after the boot camp at 9 o'clock. Boot camp is at 8:30 to 9, and then from 9 till it's done, pretty much 9 to 10 is Darren Hardy. Boot camp was awesome. Gave the first tips. You're gonna have some. I'm training this week. Heidi, when are you training?
I don't know yet.
You're training sometime. I know you are. So, anyways, watch for some of your other leaders, and it's fun to see other people that are in our organization. That's what's really cool. So, anyways, I am going to turn it over to David and Heidi because they have a special meeting set up for you guys today.
Sure, actually, and just to clarify, those times you're listing are Pacific, right?
Yes, that's Pacific time.
Okay, awesome. Because I know you're Eastern. I was like, hey, hold on here.
No, I just said it in Pacific because that's what Charlene always does. So.
Okay, fantastic. Hey guys, we actually invited somebody else to do some training for you tonight, and she happens to be a brand new FIBIC on our team, and David's going to tell you what that means and give her a little introduction.
Okay, so I think it's important to realize, why are we having all these trainings in December, right? I thought December is kind of like a break, but for whatever reason, December is kind of the time where everybody starts in our society being more lazy, and depending on how it might seem, more, you spend time with family, you sit down and eat lots of stuff, and really they have no intention for a lot of times of being healthy, unfortunately. But they're going to be seeing you, and they're going to be seeing the different people who are following up and developing connections with, and they're going to remember that in January, February, or March. And even some of them are getting fed up with, their weight right now. And so as you follow up, you'll be like, wow, I want to start now. I don't want to wait for the holidays and gain another 10 pounds. And so this December is very crucial that you maintain your sense of awareness and within your community, on Facebook or wherever, so that you can be able to have that relationship and start your business off running. So with that said, one of the main tools that we have for December is follow-up. So follow-up is crucial. It's crucial to developing relationships with clients, potential friends, current friends, with your coaches. And it helps to be able to build your business and be able to get your clients and your coaches' why fulfilled. And so one of our greatest coaches that we have on our team, Tanya, is very knowledgeable about the whole follow-up business. In fact, she's really good at it. You don't, as Tanya will tell you, you don't have to have 3,000 friends to be able to have a FIBIC business. Okay, and Tanya has been doing that because she's been reaching out. And so we're just going to turn the time over to what?
I'm going to say something too. Okay, so I was just going to say real quick is that what we found with Tanya is that sometimes she follows up with people the whole month long. And I don't want to take anything away from what she's going to share because we had her prepare something. But I did want to say that sometimes there's goals you want to meet, and it looks like there's no way possible to meet those goals. But because she was so stellar with follow-up, she would always pull in at that right. Sometimes it was last minute, but not always. But she'd always just pull in and hit her mark. And I think that's a testament to the relationships she has, but also to the ability of her follow-up skills. So without further ado, Tanya.
Woo-hoo. Hi. Your introductions are so kind. Thank you. I just wanted to share a few tips probably that help me as I follow up with my potential clients, or future clients as I call them, because I feel like they're all going to be a client someday. But I'll just get started. Something that I think it's important to just keep in mind is that as we're doing the health assessments with our future clients, is to always ask permission if it's okay to follow up with them. I had heard this on a training, I don't know, weeks ago, and I thought, how cool is that? Because sometimes we feel it awkward at the end of an assessment, and they're like, oh, I just don't have the money right now, or I'll get back to you, in a couple of months when I'm ready, is usually kind of what we hear if, the cost is an issue. But I've learned that if I ask if it's okay, is it okay if I just follow up with you? Or is it okay if we keep in contact? It's very rare that someone will say, no, no, don't talk to me, I think I've had one person say, please don't. And I was like, very taken back. I was like, really? Like, in my head, right? I'm like, she doesn't want me. She actually ended up becoming a client months later, and was a kind of a difficult client too, to be honest with you, But in my experience, most people are just kind. They'll say, sure, yeah, follow up. They have no idea how much I'm going to follow up with them, but they'll usually be very nice and gracious. So asking permission opens up that kind of avenue for us to be able to come back, whether it's a weekly basis or whatever you kind of work out. But I love that. Always ask permission. People are pretty gracious about that. My second tip would be to get organized. I have a hard time with this on a naturally, like my personality. I'm not that organized. My husband would probably agree. So with this business, as it's been growing, I've realized I have to get organized. So I guess I wanted to open it up a little bit. You guys can kind of chime in a little bit. What works for you? So because you all follow up, I know I'm not the only one that does this, from week to week, but what are some things that you guys do to follow up? What does your organization look like? Do you guys use notebooks or whiteboards, or what is it that you guys use? Anyone can just kind of chime in.
I'll chime in while everybody's thinking about that. There's one thing, if all else fails, that reminds me to follow up with my current clients. And that is, if I failed throughout the month, at least when their order processes, I get an email about it. As soon as I get that email, whoop, hey, how you doing? I haven't heard from you in a little bit. Is everything okay? So if you have been not doing what you should, and you get that email and you realize you haven't talked to that person, or they haven't reached back to your follow-ups even, that's a good reminder right there to do something. Okay, while everyone was thinking, I'll mute out.
What do you guys got?
I love my whiteboards. In this trailer that we're still in right now, I don't have the use of my whiteboards, but I love whiteboards. I love writing the names of everybody down because it keeps it fresh on my mind. If I put it in a binder, it goes away. I close it and it goes away. But if I keep it on a whiteboard of everybody I've talked to, and this is my follow-up list, all I have to do is look up when I'm sitting in my office and I see them. And they're always on my mind. And I go to bed looking at them, and they're always on my mind. So I love my whiteboards. I'm going to have like a college whiteboard in my house, and I'm so excited for that.
So I recently, thanks. I recently went to Home Depot and bought whiteboard, huge whiteboard. And I don't use it for everything. I actually organize myself a little bit differently. So I use a whiteboard for my current clients. So I have all my current clients written in on a big whiteboard. And then I have my coaches, and then I have their first, or their most recent 5 clients, so that I can ask them, hey, how is so-and-so doing? That's what I have on my big whiteboard. But for potential clients, I have a spiral notebook where I write down all their names and I just add to it. Every time I talk to somebody new, I write their name down. And so I'll go back to that notebook and just kind of go down my list. Is there anything else that anyone wants to add, something that they do that's maybe different? Emily?
I have alarms. I'm kind of an alarm junkie, and but I have really pared down how many alarms I have, and so I just have one that says it's just one that happens every day at 12:30. It says check in with your people, and it reminds me, oh yeah, there's a couple people that I need to check in with on today or whatever. So that's just my way of remembering people.
I love that. And that kind of goes to my next point. So whatever it is that works for you guys, just plan it, do it, put it on your calendar. for me, like I think I've mentioned before, Mondays I follow up with my clients, Tuesdays I follow up with like potential clients, and that will trickle through the week for me. I know that, you know, when I first started as a client of Heidi's, she would do follow up Fridays. She would check in with me every Friday. But that's, just think of what works best for you guys. Put it on your calendar. Block out a piece of time, you know, to put on there. That's what I have found that works best for me. When I schedule it, it will get done. If I don't, it won't. Because, you know, as coaches, we get clients, or at least I do. I get clients messaging me all the time, you know, message here, text there, call there. So I need to make sure that I block out specific times to make sure that I get it done. So let's talk about when you send a message. So when you're following up, what do you guys say to start the conversation? So let's say you want to message someone and say, what? Like, let's say you've already done a health assessment with them. You know they're a potential client. They did not sign up right away that day. How do you start the conversation? What are your guys' ideas? Scott, it looks like you want to say something. He's like, anybody? Shree, are you raising your hand?
I wasn't, but what I say is if they said no to me or say, I'll get back to you, I just say, how are you doing on your health journey?
Say hi. How are you doing? You know, be a person first before you're like, hey, you ready to start program? That's something that at the beginning when I started coaching, I did. I was like, hey, you ready to start program? Because I just wanted to get all these clients and I didn't know what I was doing. And I think that I've learned just through different trainings and through Heidi and David and Hiram that they've said, you know, just be a person first. Don't try to sell them anything. So basically what it looks like for me is to just be genuine and be a friend. The next thing would be to give value to each person. Hiram, did you want to say something? I think you had your hand up.
You know, when we first started program and we were on program 5-1 full time and we were losing weight, I was full-time nurse at that time, and I would work the night shift, and I would always wake up. It would be the 3 o'clock hour for day shifters, 3 o'clock in the morning, but it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon for me. And I would wake up and I wouldn't be ready to get out of bed and face the world yet. But I would lay there and I would go through my phone and see anybody that we had texted about program. And every week after we did our transformation picture, this is to me, one of the importance of doing a weekly transformation picture is I would send out that transformation picture to all of my people that I've talked to and said, holy cow, did you see what I did this week? And that's all I would do. And then, I mean, it would be like my Facebook post type thing. And they'd be like, oh my goodness, I have to do it. I have to. Because, I mean, if you're on your journey and you're friends with these people, you just want a cheerleader, but on the other hand, it's just awakening them too. So make sure that you're taking those weekly pictures and don't feel bad about sending it out. Just like Heidi was saying, Darren Hardy is spamming her like crazy. Well, you know what? That guy makes millions of dollars for spamming. And they're going to love you regardless. And if they say, hey, stop, just stop. But be real. But you know what? You don't have to spam them. Just let them know what you're doing.
That's a great idea. Thanks, Hiram. I don't take the weekly. I think that's a great idea, but I don't think I'm changing as quickly anymore. So a weekly picture may not look as different for me. But what I think to follow up with them on a weekly basis, something that I still share stuff though, not maybe my picture, but sharing someone else's picture.
So Tanya, can I do one more thing real quick there?
Yeah.
Are you changed now from your very beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that every single week. Every single week. You can always put a beginning picture to now. Just because you didn't change from week to week doesn't mean you didn't change from now to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember that. You still have a transformation picture every week. Just go from the beginning to now. Everybody's got one of those.
Change your hat each week. New hat. Look at
Even if you put on 5 pounds, you're probably still down way more than you were at the beginning. So
yeah, and I'm still posting for sure, but I won't always send like like, oh, look what I did this week. For me, it doesn't look that different anymore. But it is still important to reach out and send something. So I guess my next point was to give something of value.
Yeah, of value.
Everyone is looking for something different when they reach out to you. It might be health. It might be that they need to lose weight. It might be that they're not ready to lose weight yet, but they just wanted to hear a little bit about program. Sometimes they're already losing weight on a different program. What if maybe they're doing Weight Watchers or whatever, and they're just not ready to commit to this yet? I think something that has really helped me is to cheer them on what they're doing. So I have made awesome friends by just kind of still coaching them, but to whatever they're doing. So not trying to convince them to join me, but instead being there with them in health and being their friend in health. I have gotten lots of clients like that, actually, because I'll kind of coach them, and I ask them, is it okay if I check in with you each week so we can cheer each other on our own health journeys? They're like, sure. We become friends. You know, they'll text me when they're going for a hike. They'll text me and they're, look what I'm eating a healthy salad. And so we keep in touch in that way, and we're health friends, you know, and we just keep talking. And usually when their diets fail, because that usually happens, like they'll not have as much progress as I have, they'll reach out and they'll be like, okay, I'm ready. And that's how I've gotten lots of clients. And that kind of a follow-up is just becoming their friend in health and cheering them on to whatever they're doing. I did have one person that lost like 70 pounds on her own. You know what? Good for her. She didn't ever become my client, but we became friends. And we became friends in something that is meaningful and healthy, you know, for us. So I like that point. I think I just wanted to make that point because it's really just helped me become closer and build relationships with people and build my health community also. So during the week, I love that we send messages, right? So I send messages, or it could be a phone call, but during the week, I think it's important as we're posting, as we're, you know, we're doing that. We're doing the 3x3 or more or whatever. But it's also important that we're going to these potential clients' pages and liking their stuff, commenting on their pictures. We want them to be able to see when we post a transformation picture, when we post a friend's picture. That will help that relationship too, because they're seeing that you're commenting on their things. They're like, oh, this person's actually invested in me. It's not just about them. So that has worked. So I wanted to talk about the cost issue, because I know that comes up a lot. So let's talk about the cost. If it's because of the cost that your client didn't sign up right away at a health assessment, what do you then say at follow-up? You know that it's a cost issue. Is there anything that you guys say to kind of bring up something? Because I know for me, that has always felt like, I don't want to like reach out to them again. They can't afford it, you know, like, what do I say? So I'm opening it up again. Anyone want to tell me kind of what do they say? What do they say when they're following up with someone and they know that there's a cost issue?
I think offering coaching that's the ideal time. Like if they bring up that cost is a problem, that's when you let them know, look, you know, if you have some friends to help, you know, this can help pay for your health journey.
Yes, I love that. Thanks, Beth.
Sure.
What else do you guys say?
So another thing that Heidi does is she's very giving, and not everybody's in this position, but she says, look, your health journey means a lot to me. And so, you know, I'm willing to invest in you so that you can be successful because somebody invested in me, and that caused me to be able to have a lifelong transformation. And so when you do that, then they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can afford like $350 or maybe I can afford whatever. And then you kind of work with it, you know, or say, being able to go that route, especially if, you know, a lot of times you think that they're a transformational leader. You might be willing to invest a little bit more, or in some cases, they really just don't have any money, you know, and So you might be able to help out or even coach them with their own foods. So however it works.
Yes. I love that. Be that person that they know that cares about them. Something that I've learned from Heidi time and time again is to help them in that way. It's just, I mean, an example, I think I wrote it down so I couldn't butcher it when I talked to you guys, but I said, for example, hey, Lisa, how are you? I've been thinking about you and I'd love to help you every step of the way. I know that the costing's a little high for you and we don't typically get discounts for our program, but I'm willing to help pitch in like $25 for you if that would help, you know? So showing them that you care about their journey, that you believe in them. I usually follow that with like, I really believe in you. I know you can do this, and inspiring them a little bit. I've gotten really great feedback from that. When they hear that it's not like some sales pitch or some discount from the company, it's really just me helping and pitching in for them. They're like, oh, well, thank you. Like they'll usually take me up on that. Yeah, Heidi taught me that. So how about, okay, I wanted to share this part. So after that, they might sign up with you. They might not, but not taking it personally is something that I've had to learn. It's okay for them to say, you know, I just can't right now. And that's okay. No worries, you know. After that, I usually follow up with no worries, that's fine. Let's go ahead, just so you remember, like, I probably have added them to the Nothing to Lose group already. So I'll say something like, or Highway to Health or whatever, and say, hey, you know, just to remind you, I added you to that group, Nothing to Lose. You can find some awesome recipes there in the meantime while you're ready or while you save up for your program. Feel free to ask me any questions in the meantime. So just making them feel like you're here for them and you're giving value to what they need. And Fridays. So Fridays, I think, are really, it's good to just keep in mind that Fridays are usually paydays. Usually also the 15th of the month are paydays. So those are good days if you're going to talk to somebody about incentivizing or talking about the cost of something. Those are usually the days I like to kind of hit that day or the day after, because they don't feel as broke if they're at payday. So that's just a little tip. My last thing I wanted to share is just love what you do. Sometimes following up can seem like daunting, like, oh, I need to follow up with all these people and I have this list. But a couple of days ago, I was going through my list and I just enjoyed talking to some people. It's not always going to be about, hey, you want to join program? It's going to be about being friends. I call it relationship building, are my follow-ups. Relationship building. Be a friend, enjoy your life. If you're not enjoying health coaching, then you're not doing it right. You got to make sure that you're having fun, meeting new people and getting to know people a little bit further, maybe catching up with people that you haven't heard from a while. So those are all of my tips. So thank you all.
I have a quick thing. Thank you, Tanya. Those are some amazing follow-up tips for those of you who are taking notes. You're going to rock your follow-up. It's a great month to kind of bring that in, not just because it's December and people are starting to think about what they're going to do in January already, but also because the company is offering an amazing incentive right now. My husband's going to talk to that for a quick second, and Hiram, if you want to chime in. I know that everybody here follows up. It's not just Tanya, but Tanya had shown some real great leadership in that, so we had her present. And if any of you have more takeaways or tips you can add to the follow-up, would you go in your team pages and share those with your coaches on your coach team pages? Because we can always use more than training. Team time is just, we try and keep it really brief for y'all. One thing I'll add before we go into the incentive thing is on the cost. When we were at Intentionality Summit, they had a little panel of people, and one of the girls up there, I can't remember right now her name. Was it Rachel? Well, anyway, she was up there and she was saying, oh my gosh, she was Hispanic. Okay, so excuse my accent, but she says, oh my gosh, I need to do this program because you look so amazing. And you know, what I do, I just have a garage sale. I sell many, many things and I get my money and I buy the food and I have these, whatever her results were. And then at the end she says, you know what? Then I say, oh no, I need another garage sale because I need more food. I need to keep going. So I go and I have another garage sale. And my husband say, what are you doing? You sell all our things. Anyway, it just was hilarious that she went and she spoke. So I love the culture and I love the accent and I love how on fire she was when she was talking. She just wanted program so much that she went and sold her things to do it. So when people come in and say, I don't have the money, I say, I've heard stories of people on food stamps finding a way to get on program. If there's a will, if their why is big enough, then they will find a way, and you can help them find a way sometimes. But just putting it out there that it's not so far away from those who really know the value. Okay, incentive, trip, December Dash.
So we have 1 more minute. So the only thing I wanted to say is if you get 25 clients in the next 13 days, you will get like a $2,700 incentive bonus. Plus, you'll probably make $2,700 in just if you're what is it called? If you're qualified or whatever, you get $2,700 for that, and you'll be making $5,600. Just on those two. So if there's a good time to follow up, now's a good time because they only have this bonus once a year. So,
well, they don't normally. They did something similar last year, and they're doing it this year, but it's not an annual thing.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, reach out to Hiram or myself or Heidi. But we're more than willing to help, and it's a good time to start.
And it's not. There you go. He sat up straight. It's not just brand new clients either. It's clients that haven't been on since September. Yeah, and then also anybody that hasn't been on for a year. I know a lot of you guys are newer coaches, but anybody that hasn't started or hasn't ordered anything in over a year can actually get that $100 or that $100 discount again.
For 5 free boxes.
For 5 free boxes. So you know what? I mean, jump back on there and let people know. I mean, some of you have been coaches for a year, some of you not, but that gives a huge option. You know what? I even tell people from the very beginning, I can give you $100 off your program. Normally it would be $450, but I can get you $100 off and do the Premier program. I mean, if for people that want the deal, there you go. I mean, that's another option, another thing to do. I can give you free shipping and I can give you $100 off. That sounds very salesy, but for those people that are looking for that deal, just let them know that that's in there already. So everyone, thank you for sticking with us. Heidi, go ahead.
To this conversation about the money, I want Emily to share real quick on hers. And she said there was another program she was looking at before she watched this one, but then she looked at something else, and when she found out that price, then she was like, oh my gosh, this is way cheaper. So will you share about that real quick, Emily, and then we'll sign off.
Yeah, I contacted Heidi, and she and Amber told me how much this one was, and I was like, oh boy, I can't afford that. And so I went looking other places and tried to, I went to and did a free consultation with 3010, and theirs was $1,200 a month. And I was like, holy crap, 400 is easy. So I came back, and I did actually wait until I had my tax return, which I really ended up not needing to do, but that was my plan. And then I didn't need to actually do it, but it's lots cheaper than some other programs are.
Yeah. It's not as steep of a price as people realize when they're looking to get healthy. So, okay. Thanks for jumping.
Everyone. Love ya. We will see you on Saturday. Make sure you're on the boot camp Saturday morning. Darren Hardy's right after that. If you can't fit Darren Hardy, then shoot for Monday. It's worth doing, and it's an investment from the team. So love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.